everyone, welcome to Star Player 1. I'm Brandon with Leviathan, the last day of the decade. Last time we left off, we saved Christian, rescued him from the prison, had a little kiss with Julia going down, we have a shadow, and we're trying to escape the city. And I believe we should just go to sleep now. Alright. Oliver, yeah? We will definitely save him. Maybe just up a little pitch. There we go. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Dorina, you sent Tara to find me. Perhaps you have some kind of plan? Not really, but I know that we should stick together. Anyway, speaking of plan, you can help me with it. Okay, may we start? Dorina looks carefully at Julia. Julia pierces her with a harsh and wary glance. I don't want them to see us discussing something behind their backs. Maybe you should talk to them first. To Miss Inquirer, for instance, she keeps an eye on you. You changed. You changed a lot. It's not about your hair. Trina pushes her lips. She stares at the stony floor, silent. I'm not going to talk about it. You know, she smiles strangely. If I tell you what happened recently, I will. Oh, please don't ask. Today I finally realized why you're weird that way. Weird that way? I'm talking about what happened 10 years ago. Dorina clenches her teeth, her eyes full of tears, but she doesn't shed them. Go, leave me alone. We'll discuss our plan a bit later. We'll discuss our future plans. Julia looks to Oliver appreciatively. Get some rest, take your time. I know we got a lot to talk about. Why don't you chat with anyone here? Enough chat, let's start. I have enough to chat, we're need a plan, Jay. Well, as you wish. Tara. Dorina. Kinsera. Ready to discuss our plan? Let's assume that the team's all here. I'll start. That's a lot of people in my little frame. Before talking about details, I suggest we discuss our ultimate goal. Tara and Dorina are hiding pursuers. They're probably not planning to stay in the city. Neither are Oliver and I. Therefore, settling the goal is more of a formality. But no, maybe somebody wants to express their opinions? Julia? Perhaps you have something on your mind, Julia? It's quite simple. The chances of us getting caught and killed are higher while we are in Crosstown. Killed by who exactly? I only know what I saw. The army is in the bureau. I have no idea who sent them and why. There are also soldiers in the sewer, and the city is swarming with them. See for yourself. The only one who can dispatch the army into the city is the Minister of War. Everything indicates that Christian unwittingly became one of his targets. Probably not the most important one. What's going on there anyway? Something we cannot comprehend as of right now because we don't see the complete picture. Christian's arrest apparently started some events which was already planned, waiting to be unleashed. Or Uncle Avis's death, and purses her lips. Julia slightly raises her brow, or everything at once. Consider groans loudly and stretches. So about our plan, yeah, we got distracted. One thing for sure, we are leaving Crosstown. The question is how we're going to do it. At night, we get out of the sewers on the outskirts of the city. I knock the guards out and we leave. Dorina closes her eyes and puts her palms on her temples. What are you doing? I'm thinking, don't distract me, Kinsera. Dorina rubs her temples again. That will not do. Bad plan. Julia gives her an almost imperceptible nod. I agree. The gates are controlled by mechanisms in the wall. The guards below don't give the order to open the gates. Even if you manage to overpower those lower guards, the ones above will sound the alarm. It's too risky. A boat? A boat? We'll sail out of Crosstown. There are plenty of canals which can lead it right out of the city. Yeah, some are guarded, others are gated with iron bars. What exactly are you going to do? Ooze through them? This plan is weak. Let's be honest, it's complete crap. When I was upstairs, I saw what happened on the canals. As soon as they see our boat, they'll ask us to stop. There are barges full of dead bodies everywhere. Julia, what's your plan? Julia, care to say something? I think maybe with the barges and boats, we can throw our bodies onto the boat itself, and everyone will think that we're just part of the dead. For decision depends on my answer. I'd rather not say anything just yet. It's easy to forget some subtle details and make a mistake. And again, it's quite possible there's no suitable plan. We are already dead, so to speak. Dead, you say? Why don't we use the barge then? That's what I was saying. We'll get on, hide among the dead bodies, and the barge will take us out of the city. That should work. No way, screw you guys. I'm not gonna lie next to corpses. Afraid you'll get your suit rumpled. That's not the point. They're contaminated. I'm not planning to die at age 16. So you are 17. Damn, I said 16. He's 17. 17. Oh, great. Last thing I need is a teenager. Tara touches Darina's shoulder. Quiet, mistress. We hide on the barge, load with dead bodies, and get out of the city. What do you think? Can we make it? Darina puts her hands to her head and falls into a contemplation. What's wrong with her? I've never seen her like this before. I'm not sure if this is good enough. With all due respect, Oliver, it just doesn't look like a solid plan yet. Not enough details. And a lot of questions, in particular, how are we going to get on board? I haven't even thought about it yet. Can we fake our death? Hell no, don't even think about it. Well, we gotta come up with another plan. Or just keep thinking. Yeah, right, you're the one who's capable of it. You and your bickering. By the way, someone has to load the dead bodies in the barges. I doubt that nobles. Julia snaps her fingers. The overseers! As far as I know, the task of cleaning the city corpses is assigned to the overseers. Alright, those guys with the kettles on their head. The kettle on your head will help you avoid infection, Kinsera. It will also conceal your face. This is starting to sound good. You're probably the only one who feels that way. Where are you going to get these overseer uniforms? I'm not sure yet. Of course you're not sure. You're only good at talking. When it's time for action, you're good for nothing. Everyone falls quiet. I can steal them, rob them, be quiet, or maybe I can use my shadow? I don't want to rob anyone point blank. We could use my shadow. The overseers will not be able to overcome it. Huh? Shadow, am I missing something? But demonic shadow, Kinsera, just like Overlords. Whoa, hold on, I don't get it. He's not your relative, right? What's this shadow nonsense? It's a long story, and we don't have time for it now. Darina puts her hand on her temples. Not a good plan. Will you explain yourself or not? It's just a bad plan, trust me. I'm done with this. All I hear is a bad plan, bad plan. We don't even bother to try something, but we are quick to discard any idea not approved by our bald lady. I've yet to hear any idea out of you, but my ears are bleeding from your squeaky no. Julia, don't tell me to shut up. Enough, I tried ignoring her insults and quibbles. I won't keep quiet about it anymore. Darina's mouth tightens. You don't understand, we really shouldn't. Why is that? Oh yes, not enough details. I'll give you the details. Oliver's power is being suppressed by the Komodachi. We will go back to the bureau and get the key and I'll unlock this thing. Darina's hands are pressing against her temples and she's shaken. You will die if you go to the bureau. Julia thinks over it for a second. I guess you're right about that. Well then, I have a couple of these at home and there should be some keys. At least one of them should fit. Darina closes her eyes while holding her head. She must be able to maybe see the future. Oliver will get us the overseer's uniforms. Then we'll put them on to hide our faces and get Christian on board and leave. Darina touches her temples. Her face is pale. Her lips are trembling as if she sees something sinister. Now that's a solid plan. Yep, this is a place. I thought we were going to get lost in the tunnels. Julia steps to the ladder. She raises her hand, listens to the sound of the city. There are soldiers there. Let's wait for them to leave. Sit down for a moment. Alright. Julia picks up the tails of her uniform and sits against the wall. I could sit with her, sit alone, or lean on the wall. Of course we're going to sit with her, silly! Oliver sitting next to Julia. Julia stares at Oliver's face as if she's hoping to see something. Look, imagine that you managed to get Christian out of the city and take him to some old empty house far from the capital where no one can find him. What would you do next? I honestly don't believe in killing, unless it's absolutely last minute resort. So, I think I'll forgive him, honestly. I mean, like, he wasn't doing anything to hurt me, per se. I had 10 years to think over it. I think I will forgive him. Whoever committed a crime and he must be punished. He's like family to me. He took your family. You will leave his crime unpunished? When all is concerned, you can't be guided by emotions. You lost your brother. I try not to forget that there is no place for personal justice in this world. It seems that soldiers are gone. Let's hurry up. There's a subtle smell of charcoal fumes in the air. The night is sky is obscured by a strange fog. Oliver looks closer and realizes that it's actually ash whirling in the air. And yeah, by law standards, he should be arrested, but the options they gave me were just, do I kill him or do I forgive him? I forgive him, but he still has to face what he's done. A thick cloud of stench from piles of dead bodies hang over the white circle. The waterfront is littered with gruesome human remains. All the doors are open. The overseers using their hooks to drag stolen, decomposed bodies from their houses. We're almost there. Julia takes Oliver's hand and they slip past the city guard into the inconspicuous alley. Don't trample on the carpet. I'm not a fan of cleaning my room. Better to keep it tidy in the first place. Is it even possible? Why don't you hire a maid? No way. I keep important papers in the bureau here. Julia goes to the kitchen. Care for a drink? I got rum and... well, just rum, really. A lot of rum, though. Ha! We like rum, remember? No thanks. Sit down for a moment. I'll look for those keys. I'll look for the keys to this thing. Julia appears briefly in the corridor. And disappears once again into the depths of her apartment. Oliver walks into the room, sits on the red couch, and looks around. Oliver examines the detailed chart pinned to the wall. Short lines. The words Terrence Odo catches my eye instantly. Kraftwerk seems to be written below. These are the 6 kids killed by Christian. I'm not quite sure how, but Julia was able to find the links between their deaths. Their names are connected by red threads. If there is a trial, she can definitely prove that these killings are related. There's another chart under the one with the details of the Orvard investigation. 4 notebooks, sheared glued to each other, are covered with a smooth handwriting. The name Mitchell is mentioned frequently. Huh? Antique silver mirror. You can tell Julia doesn't use it often. Her dressing table is empty, and there are circles on its dusty surface where there was perfume bottles. There are even a few notes on the upper side of the mirror. Her handwriting is pretty neat with huge capital letters. It's like she's trying to decorate her mirror with these notes. A small non-functional alarm clock. It's stopped at 2:11. The clock makes this apartment seem more desolate. I wonder how our old mansion's holding up. What's inside the house? Are my huge bed and Ginny's tiny bath still intact? If I ever enter my old house again, what will I find there? Julia walks in the room. She is holding a flat iron key. Oh, and you're wearing your cute little sweater. I didn't say it out loud. The clock is broken. I can't remember what had happened. I tried fixing it, but I only made it worse. It lost a flywheel. It's going to stay that way forever. This is probably the right key. I need a bit of time to prepare. You don't need much more than a bit. Tell me, do you know what awaits you there? I can't be certain. One thing for sure, you'll meet him there. You may think he acted the way because he's your loving stepfather. There's probably still some room for his cold calculations on his part. I'm what connects him with all these murders. It's all over if he gets rid of me. The judge won't find the main clue. I can't believe Christian treated me like that. I can't believe he treated me like that. What if there's no plan? If there was one, you think this man is incapable of trickery? He said something like Christian was using you. Julius lost thought. Shadow is trying to convince you that you and your guardian are enemies. It's part of his plan. The less you follow it, the more chances you have. Unless, of course, he tries to seek a violent solution and simply kills you. That's also a possibility. You cannot do this without the Shadow, though. Julia's face grows darker. She turns her eyes away. I know. That's why I want you to be on guard when you meet him. No matter what he says, listen carefully. Yeah, the Shadow is our dark thought, so she's right. I trust Christian. I'm gonna stick to my beliefs. Yes, he has killed people, and he has probably the Shadow's influence. I'll give you the spell. When it's time for you to get out, give me a signal. Julia touches Oliver's wrist unexpectedly. Her thin fingers grip it firmly. Can we get started? If you are ready. No, not yet. I need more time, you know. I know, take your time. Yeah, I want to examine the rest of the things in our room. Rules and principle of law, the hugely shabbily tomb called Searching for Missing Persons, and some tightly bound manuscripts. Can't find any fiction on Julia's shelves. Wait a minute, these are 3 volumes of Tenderfingers in the corner of the bottom shelf. Does she really read this romantic crap? Oh, there's Season of Adventure, Heart of Celestia, and Promotion? What's wrong? She has good taste. Rules and principles of the law. A huge shabby tomb called Searching... Okay, we already did. Blah, 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 blah. Yep. And her bed. A cherry wood bed covered with layers of red and brown varnish. Alright, we're ready. You ready to go, Mrs. Future Bertrand? Oh, we can talk to her. Charts on the wall. All of our steps to the chart on the wall. Do these names ring a bell? I didn't think there was a connection. The more you examine, the more you realize it exists. I was getting ready for a trial, searching for solid evidence. Your clippings were not too convincing, but they were a starting point. Why were they not convincing? There's no obvious connection to your words. Do the clippings say that he killed him? There is no trace of a killer's signature either. It's too shallow. I found a document case of Orford's papers. So? So? What do you mean so? The documents were in alphabetical order. You didn't even ask yourself how they ended up there. I just realized. Julia burst into laughter. Someone helped you with these clippings. That someone began investigating and left a clue for you. I wonder how long that didn't wait for me. Julia starts around the room. You're alive. When I visit sometimes I always examine the house. It tells a lot about its owner. What does my house tell you? That's exactly the point. It says nothing. I can tell you myself. Julia glances around her room. I only see our shoes near the door, which means I live alone. The mirror is dusty. It's not being used too often. If you look at the dressing table, you'll notice that there used to be perfume and powder. Now they're gone. Tell me, what does that mean? You live at work? Or it's either you ran out, you live at work, or you don't use it. I'm gonna say you live at work. Live at work. Exactly, inquired Bertrand. All my day-to-day stuff is at the bureau in my office. Your turn. Can you tell me something about me? Oliver looks around. The furniture's all the same style. It looks pretty new. You haven't been living here for too long, right? Not bad. I won't get into the details. For the most part, you are correct. Good. I noticed the books on your shelf. It looks like you don't read much nowadays, but you used to a lot. It's clear to me that you understand literature. These are Mitchell's. Oh, I see. You don't know this side of him. It was long before we moved to Croystown. Julia pauses. Julia starts around the room. It's weird here. Why? It's like we're in a hotel room, not an apartment. You forget to add in a hotel room with no mates. Yeah. Not sure if I still even have a home. Were you sure before? I hadn't thought about it before. You don't think about such things when life is good. We had a small table in the living room, just enough for everyone to eat together. Sometimes we would have a big party and servants would set up tents in front of the yard for our guests. It took up a lot of space, but it only happened once every few years, so it wasn't that bad. Your family didn't like having guests? My father didn't. That's why hardly anyone visited. We were fine with that. He used to say that no guests meant less noise and mess. We always tried to stay quiet. We, you mean you and Mitchell? Yeah, Lia? It seems so rude to call her her stepmother, and calling her mother would have been ridiculous. I haven't visited them in a long time. Alright, and that's it. I think we're ready to go. Julia puts the key into the Komododachi keyhole. Another thing, you can't stay there for too long. Time is limited. What do you mean? Your real world body will be melting away. I'll have to get you back when you are close to vanishing. Oh, you mean like that time in prison, right? Well, I think I'm ready. Julia turns the key with a sharp movement. Everything goes dark. The room is filled with flowing fog. It's easy to feel someone's invisible presence. So quiet. Where is the shadow? Resonant sound. The clock, broken beyond repair, suddenly comes to life. Its hand begins to move without hesitation. Something is happening with this room. The fog is thickening and twisting into knots around Oliver. It's as thick as a wall near the entrance and the windows. Whatever is behind it is concealed by the clouds of smoke. He really is like a father to you. I never believe you are too naive to pursue justice. If you really needed his death, you'd have killed him a long time ago. I never believe it. You're too naive to pursue. Oh, never. You're too naive to. That's right. That's right. I was not quite sure what to tell you, but this topic's perfectly fine. Chris Norwood is all in its glory. This story will take some time to tell. Prepare to listen carefully. It'll put your past in quite different light. I want you to look at it in a new way. All I remember is Julia's words. No matter what he says, listen carefully. Your real world body will be melted away. I'll have to bring you back when you're close to vanishing. They say that Brunholm's annual fair is the most beautiful festival in the Western Hills. You were lucky enough to see it in quiet times when hardly anyone died from the decade. The place was swarming with people. You can find just about anything there. Low-life scum, small-time aristocrats, even Loaf Orvod himself would be lost there. Christian took you there to the fair that year. You had cold, and he was afraid you wouldn't recover in time for the holiday. I still have half my ticket. I remember what it looked like. Ah yes, heart-shaped tickets, single and doubles consisting of 2 parts. There was a silk bed near the entrance. A couple of girls were selling tickets, pulling them out of their night skirts. You are thinking about their blonde nips, right? I remember looking at them. Kristen held your hand tightly. He even hugged you so you wouldn't get lost in the crowd. We were wandering there for 3 days. I remember it quite well. I'm having the voices of them mix because he is now our shadow, so he's kind of like our dark self. You're old enough to remember, not enough to understand, though. Shadow goes silent if he's taking a dramatic pause. Okay, let's go on. We're on a time frame. Go on. He was so attentive watching your every step. He didn't want some lonely liberate time to invite you to check some bushes together. He rented a tent so you wouldn't have to sleep with the peasants. Even you set it up, isolated from the others. It was made of blue fabric and stood near the edges of the forest under a gigantic tree. It protected you from the wind, but still, it was cold that day. He let you drink some wine to warm up a bit. You became dizzy, soft, and blind, half asleep. I remember nothing. Oh, I'm sure you remember when I go into details. And I'm going to stop it there. It's getting interesting with our shadow friend. We haven't seen the end in a while, and that's weird. Enjoying us forming a love connection. If you like what you're seeing happening here on Star Player 1, like, comment, subscribe down below. As always, I'll see you guys on my next Star Player 1 video. Bye!